to this live stream. So I've titled this live section Tip Reading the XAU, AUD, and XAU Euro. I just want to show you my chart for some people, from some of us who don't know how to do this chart this way, right? I'm going to be explaining it live here, right? It's actually easy to put two charts on the screen. Okay, let me quickly remove it so that I can add it all over again. So this is how your chart should look like, or normally the green and the red candle, right? Well, I've changed mine to blue and black, right? So but then we are not using, in pairs trading, we don't use the candlestick, we use a line chart. So I can change the chart to the line chart. Now the color doesn't really matter, right? Depending like what you prefer, right? You can decide to use yellow, can decide to use any other color, right? So do yours. And then, so this is, let's say I want to change XA and the rest, right? So you are going to pick one. But for me, I prefer a forex.com. Reason because they give good price data, right? More like what the prime brokers are giving, right? So I prefer forex.com over every other one. Now, not that the other ones are not good. Like what is it called? There's this other one. Um, I think it's Rwanda, right? So not that they are not good, not that the Rwanda is not good, but I prefer the forex.com, right? So I'll click on forex.com, right? And then I will need to compare, right? I need to compare this to the second. I need to compare this, right? So I'll click on the compare symbol over here. If you look at your upper left, you're going to see my profile picture. Then to the right of it, you're going to see XU AUD. Then you to the right again, you're going to see icon that's it. That's so I'm going to describe it. A diamond icon. Then the next one will be the compare symbol, right? The circle with the plus inside, right? So you're going to, oh dear. I don't know why someone called like 3 times. The person keeps calling and calling over and over again, right? You just call and wait a while before you call again. I'm busy right now, and I will call you back later. So as I was saying, XAU, AUD, then the plus sign, which is the compare symbol, and we got the XAU, right? You, if you can decide to do XAU euro first before the compare symbol XAU. So the arrangement doesn't matter here. So now I must make sure that um, I'm using the same broker, right? The same broker. Since I'm using forex.com data for XAU AUD, I must make sure that I'm using the forex.com XAU euro, right? So the data from the brokers will not clash. So I'm sure you get this right now, right? I want to repeat what I just said. The data of each currency pairs, which is XAU AUD and XAU euro, the data must be coming from the same broker. So you don't want a situation whereby you are taking data from different brokers, right? You're going to get see a misleading divergent or misleading statistical data, right? Broker, right? To get the same data, right? So in this case, since I've chosen XAU AUD forex.com, I'm going to be using XAU Euro forex.com. So which is the second one here, right? So I'll click on the second. Now the next thing you're going to do is to choose what scale you are going to use, right? So in pest trading or in my teaching, we prefer to use the percentage scale, not the new price scale, right? And one reason why we use the price scale is because we measure uh, correlation in percentage, right? We measure correlation in percentage, right? So just a brief about that. We say a correlation ranges between a 0 to 100%, right? And 50% is neutral, right? 0 to 50 is negative, or let me just say low correlation, not negative correlation, no. Low correlation, right? And from 50 to 100 is high correlation or positive correlation, because I don't want to use positive or negative, right? So low correlation, high correlation, right, to the other side. So we use so anything 70% to 100% is high correlation, right? Or positive correlation. You can put it that way as well, right? So from zero to 50 to 60, I consider 60 as low correlation, or the negative correlation, right? I consider 60 as well. So strong correlation is from 70 to 100. So I'm using percentage, right? I'm using percentage here, same percentage scale because of correlation, right? So I don't want to use the price scale, right? Or the new pan, right? Using the new price scale, or no, I mean, using the new price, you're going to get the same compare symbol, but not in percentage. Then the new pan uh, is going to be stacked on top of each other, right? You are not you can compare it, but they are not going to be together, right? XAU will be up, XAU AUD will be at the top, while XAU we have the two pairs, right? So the blue is the XAU euro and the orange is XAU AUD, as you can see, right? So then I I'm going to change the blue to area, right? There's no um there's no particular reason. I just like uh the design, the beauty of using area to instead of line scale. You can see they are the same, right? This and this is the same. You can see this is area, this is line scale, and this is area. So in case you are looking for what you can check up your upper right, you're going to see the candlestick, you're going to see area, then you're going to see the line graph, right? Then you can search if you need other ones. You can you can check from here and select what you want, right? But preferably line or area is okay, right? I use area a lot. So I'm going to search for trade if there's any trade here. Okay. Okay, let me delete this. There's some text on the chart. Okay. So tape reading the market XAU euro and XAU AUD. As you can see, so far there is no divergence, right? This is actually one of my best pair to trade because this pair is so co-integrated, right? So this is an expo for you. Uh, if you're listening to me, or if you have been looking for pairs that are co-integrated, right? Pair is co-integrated, and but then there's a but, right? Because you don't want to be trading this pair with a small account. You don't want to be trading it with a small account. Don't ever trade this with a small account, right? Um, because it's volatile, right? It's very volatile. But then there's this assurance, that whenever you take a trade, you always close on profit. You always close on profit. I always close on profit when I take the trade. As long as there is a divergence on the chart, as long as you have done your um, correlation test, you have done uh, your analysis, you have done your um, Excel computing and the rest, right? You are good to go, right? You can take the trade as long as many times you want, right? And you are confident that you're going to be close, right? So no fear if you have there's no fear if you have a good account. Like I said, don't trade it on a small account, only a reasonable account. Now, a reasonable account, I mean from $200 above, right? And you are using the smallest lot size. The smallest lot size when you see a good opportunity. a good divergent on the chart. Just looking at this chart, this is daily time frame, right? You can see that this market has been moving together, like it has been moving correlation. I call this correlation, right? Moving together. It's been moving together for a very long time, and you can see that um, you can only spot just little time or spaces when they are not moving together, when one is faster than the other. But overall, they've been moving together. Looking at this time frame. Now, if you go to the 4 hours time frame, you're going to see almost the same thing, right? You're going to see almost the same thing. You can see that they are also moving together, right? They are moving together. Um, Looking at this, I can see there are some there are some days here or some space where you can see space, and that is where the opportunity lies. Now, on those days, you want it to correspond with your analysis, your Excel, and every other thing that you look out for. I, my student, look out for before taking this trade, right? Those days where those pockets of space, you can see those space those divergent in there, just like I'm going to show you quickly. So I'm going to be using the horizontal line to show you what I'm referring to. Um, where is the line? Okay, so we have the horizontal line. Okay, this is, I mean, vertical line right now. Vertical line. Okay, so I mean this pocket of space. As you can see, this red. Okay, let me make it bolder. Need to be bold. As you can see these pockets of space over here, right? Sorry. So this is an opportunity for us as space traders, or I am a student, to look out for this type of opportunity, and we take advantage of it. So we analyze our pairs, we analyze uh, some other things which is beyond this live stream, right? Um, so when everything is aligned, that is when we are taking the trade, and we are absolutely confident that whenever we take the trade, we will close on profit, right? We always close on profit. So of course, we are going to be buying the underperformer and selling the overperformer, right? Always buy the underperformer and sell the overperformer. In this case, the underperformer here will be the XAU, right? We'll buy XAU AUD here. As you can see, there is a divergent over here. So we'll buy XAU AUD at this spot, at this point, and we sell XAU Euro. So of course, the result is always going to be positive, right? It's going to be profitable because you can see the aftermath of the movement. So we are not in any way looking at the direction or worrying about where the market is going to go next, or we don't we are not worried about those. Okay. um that is it, guys. So looking for opportunity for today, but still looking for opportunity for today, and I've not yet seen one. This is the 4 hours time frame, and is one of the best time frame where we look at or we look for opportunity. Then we go to the 3 hours time frame. I've got these questions a lot. What time frame are we going to be looking for trade? What time frame? What time frame? People keep asking me. what time frame uh, they will look for opportunity. This is the time frame you are going to be using, right? You are going to stay on. You are going to analyze. There is no particular There is no particular time frame, right? So you are going to analyze from daily to the 1 hour time frame, right? So anything lower than 1 hour time frame, I don't do anything lower than 1 hour. So I analyze from I do the weekly time frame analysis, right? So from the daily, well, most times from the daily time frame to the 1 hour time frame. So I am sure that I've answered this question now. So if you are still asking the same question, watch this video and so every other question that regards to time frame is being answered, right? Will be answered in the course, or you can ask me some other time, right? So you understand even properly, right? The 2 hours, right? So 2 hours. What am I seeing? What did I see in 3 hours? As you can see, currently there's no divergent, right? Currently there's no divergent in this market, right? Because both of them are moving together. They are moving down, right? From up to down. They've been moving together, right? There was a trade on the 21 between 20 to 21, which I took. As you can see, and the trade was around here. There was a divergence on this pair, right? There was a trade here around here. It was on the uh should be here, somewhere around here, right? So there was a trade here I took. So of course you can see that I closed on profit because I took a XAU AUD buy and XAU euro sell here over here. So and I closed somewhere around here, right? So there was a trade here, and currently you can see there's no trade, right? There's no trade currently. So we're going to avoid this trade for today, right? Or on this pair, right? So let's check other pair, uh, other other time frame. We are still on the 3 hours time frame, right? We can see a trade on the 2 hours trend frame, right? We can see a trade on 2 hours time frame. So let me just switch to the 2 hours. Okay, so this is a 2 hours time frame. What I can see is that there's no divergent, right? It is obvious, right? So just stop making it too complicated. It's not hard, right? What I'm saying is that there's no divergent. As you can see, both of them are moving in the same direction. You know what people don't know is that patient is key, right? That is what I was saying before. Before now, patient is key. So uh, that there's no trade today doesn't mean that there won't be trade tomorrow. This pair that you are seeing here, or these two currency pair right here, obviously there's no divergence. But in the next 1 hour, in the next 2 hours, there can be an opportunity, right? There can be trade. But just there is no trade here doesn't mean there won't be trade tomorrow. So patience is key for me, right? Patience is the key, right? Patience is the key. I can dedicate my channel to talking about patience because I found out that that is the number one thing that most people lack. It's not that they don't know how to analyze the market. They know most of us or most traders knows how to analyze the market. Just like what you are seeing here on this chart. Clearly, there's no divergence, right? On this chart. Plus other things that we also will look out for, which is the Excel. We look at the Excel. We will do analysis on the Excel, which I will not be showing here in this live stream. We also look at the analysis, the strength, weakness analysis, the correlation analysis, and the rest. So we'll do all of this analysis, and they all must be telling us the same thing, the same story. So if they are not saying the same story, or if you're not telling the same story, why will I, or why should I be trading? I should not be trading. So I should wait, right? Wait. So if I don't, another thing is, if I don't see opportunity here, I can always go to another pair. And let's say I've gone through all the pairs that I trade, right? I've gone through all of it, and still there's no trade. What am I going to do? Like there's no setup. What am I going to do? Will I be forcing my trade? Will I be forcing trade? Should I go back to the old ways, which is the directional trading and look for trade? That is it, right? I just feel this is what people don't know. Patient. You have to, if you are listening to me, you have to, right? You have to develop that skill, right? I posted that, I said, if you don't have it, it is okay, right? It is okay that you are not a patient person. It is okay that you don't have patience. It is okay that you have been taught that trading is where the money is, right? And the people that are making money are the active people. It is okay. But you have been losing all this why, right? With that information. Why not change your approach and be patient trader and trade, take less trade? It is good to be active, but active analyzing, active looking at the chart, trying to learn, but not actively trading, not actively placing trade here and there, looking for one one big move that is going to happen in the next 1 hour so that you can make money to sort one or two for you. This is not how this industry is. It is not. We have been sold so many lies. We have been told so many lies about this industry or in this industry that anybody that comes to it, that if you come here you're going to get rich. If you do more, you are going to you are going to get more. It is not true. How far? You have been doing all of these things. How far have you gone? It's time for you to sit back and relax. Relax. If you are taking just 2 trades in a week, it is okay. If you are taking just 1 trade in a single week, it is okay. Now, the reason why I like this my system is when I take the trade, I'm always I am always positive, right? I know that since my analysis is right, come rain, come sunshine, even though I don't close that day, I know definitely that I am going to close on profit, right? I know, right? I know that I am going to close on profit. This might look, you might be looking at this chart, you'll be like, what am I seeing here? What seeing? I'm seeing there are things that I'm seeing that you're not seeing actually, because I've gained experience, right? I've gained experience. I've been there more time, more than you do, right? I've been here so many times. I know So my student, I took a trade the other day and asked me, what did I see? What did I see um, that made me to took the trade? I've seen, I can see what you can see, or you can't see rather, right? I can see what you can see because advantage in this market. But then is key. Patient is key. If you don't have it, you can develop it. It is okay not to be patient person. It is okay, right? But if day after day, right? And if you know that you can never stop, it's just an advice from me, right? Because ever be profitable, right? Without being wait for your setup. If it's not there, right? If it's not there to do what is not there, right? Hours, so there's no trade, there's no divergence on the 2 hour and the normally use or the 1 hour or anything below trade. Might not say trade in order, right? So what do you do in this case, right? For my student, they know what to do. 2 hours time frame, we have not seen any divergence there. So what are you going to be doing? Or what will be your reaction? And remember, we are not looking. There are other things that we look out for. So because I see a lot of people messaging and commenting that um, commenting 1 or 2 things, right? So we don't just base our analysis on divergent. We don't just base on our analysis on this divergent. There are other things. There are other things that I look out for. About patient, right? I can dedicate my account to talking about every single day because that is it. If every patient can be, if every trader, rather, if every trader can be a patient trader, we all can be profitable. If every trader, this is a method I use, this is a method I understand. So you can be a directional trader and still be following me, right? You can be a string trader, you can be support and resistance, you can be whatever strategy you use. But then patient is one thing that every one of us must have. Is one thing that uh, every one of be successful. Or um, so that is it, right? I will be analyzing another pair, maybe so you've learned how to compare the chart. You've learned how to do no. If there's no trade there, there's no trade on MT5. So opening MT5 is execution, right? You have done everything that you need to do. So opening your MT5 is because you want to execute. You want to place a buy on it, or you want to place a buy and sell, right? You want to place a buy and sell on MT5. So every other thing should be external, right? External, the divergence thing or any other calculation on the MT5. Everything is on this is external, right? The trading view. So that is all, right, for now. So I'll be talking to you guys in the next one. And by the way, I closed my trade yesterday. This morning I took a trade yesterday. Congratulations, right? I always put the trade right, with the um instruction carefully. So like the trade I took, I posted, I say if you um, didn't see the trade earlier, you saw the trade 1 hour after, don't take the trade. If I say 1 hour, trade is valid within 1 hour or within 1 hour. So make sure that you are taking the trade within the one by 3 o'clock. I posted the alert, and I said the trade is valid for 30 minutes now, as long as it's not 3:31 or 3:35. So within 30 minutes, you can take the trade. So anything above 3:30, so you wait for another sales. You're going to get something as we are getting, right? So it's very important that you pay attention to the timing, right? Pay attention to the timing. It's usually 30 minutes, right? Nothing less, right? 30 minutes. What I'll be posting, right? Yes, Carlson. I don't want to um, bother you with that, right? For now. So that is it. Those posts, you'll get them. I don't know if um it happens with posts, right? So that when I post, when I take send a trade alert, you be the first to see it within the 30 minutes time, so you can take advantage of it, right? So I wish you guys good luck and happy trading. I'll be talking to you until next time. Bye. Oh, so I'm trying to end the live stream.